So what is the scientific principle that best describes the evolutionist's origin of life proposition? What is the foundational underpinning to the declaration that is often made by the secularist community that evolution is a settled scientific fact? Well, we can get that answer straight from the atheist evolutionist community. Their answer is very clear. Consider these selected paragraphs from the atheist website, godisimaginary.com. The article states, quote, "Where did the first cell come from? Many believers will argue that God magically created the first living cell. This, of course, is silly. The scientific principle that describes the origin of life is called abiogenesis. In the same way that there is no supernatural being involved in evolution, there is no supernatural being involved in abiogenesis. Both the creation of life and the evolution of species are completely natural processes." Well, there you have it, an admission by the evolutionist community in writing, black and white, that the core foundation of their pseudo-scientific belief system is abiogenesis. The article categorically declares this admission and hails abiogenesis as, quote, "the scientific principle that describes the origin of life." They have admitted that the basis for their entire declaration of evolution fact is nothing more than mere superstition. Let me explain factually. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines abiogenesis in this manner: the supposed spontaneous origination of living organisms directly from lifeless matter, called also spontaneous generation. Now, pay very close attention to that word spontaneous generation. It's a very interesting word indeed. But Wikipedia, an online encyclopedia resource often quoted by evolutionists, explains the definition of abiogenesis in this manner. Quote, "Abiogenesis is the study of the origin and evolution of the last universal common ancestor and how biological life could arise from inorganic matter through natural processes." So here you have the categorical admission that evolution is grounded and founded in mere superstition. Because, see, any true scientist who is using real science knows that life does not come from non-life. Aristotle proposed this preposterous theory almost 2,000 years ago. His theory held sway over the scientific community until just a little over 100 years ago, when Louis Pasteur, building on the work of others before him, scientifically proved that life cannot originate from non-life without intelligent input of some sort. Now, real scientific knowledge of cellular composition and DNA-RNA structure has replaced the superstition that life somehow magically originates from previously non-living materials. It just cannot happen. Abiogenic origination of life has never been observed or demonstrated, even with the intelligent input of scientists, which would only serve to prove intelligent design. We have not been able to create life from non-life. And don't be led astray by big words either. The Wiki article uses bigger words than the Merriam-Webster entry. Wiki used the terms how biological life could arise from inorganic matter through natural processes. As you probably know, inorganic means non-living, and natural processes means without intelligent design or input. So what the article is really saying is that abiogenesis is the new, spiffed-up word for spontaneous generation, the idea that life could arise naturally from non-life. Again, that idea is mere superstition, and real science has proven it to be so. So there it is. The godisimaginary.com article categorically claims, without realizing it, that the foundation for their entire belief system is nothing more than mere superstition, disproved by real science well over 100 years ago. Yet sadly, this pablum is still passed off as real and settled science in public education classrooms the world over. And if you'll recall, the article also declared that, quote, "Many believers will argue that God magically created the first living cell. This, of course, is silly." Well, now that we know the truth of the matter, we can clearly see where the real magic is located. The real magic is in believing that abiogenesis is the answer for how 20 million species of life, along with their multiplicities of subsystems, arrived on this singular planet. Again, I rest my case here. The evolution origins proposition of abiogenesis is nothing more than pseudoscientific superstition. Now that is the real silliness of the matter. All of this is addressed in great detail in my new book published by WND Books, The Magic Man in the Sky, Effectively Defending the Christian Faith. Get your copy of my new book, The Magic Man in the Sky, Effectively Defending the Christian Faith. Considering the days in which we now live, you need this book. Available at Amazon.com and WND Superstore. Get your copy today.